What's up everyone, welcome to Versatile Fun Designs. Today I have the LEGO Star Wars Invisible Hand. It is set number 75377, it has 557 pieces, and it's an 18 plus set. Let's open the box and see what's inside. And actually before we do that, I'll just zoom in a little bit to see, and to show you, turn off the flash temporarily. Here is what the Invisible Hand looks like in the actual source material. So yeah, we're going to build a Legoified version of this right here. Unusually there's a bag that is stuck here. I'm trying to pull on it, but it won't come out. Oh, looks like pulling it out made it rip apart, so I'll be removing it very carefully. Coincidentally, I think it's bag 1. We're off to a strange start here. I'll keep this bag 1 in the box for now because it's kind of opened. Let's just see what else is included in the set. So sorry about this confusion. This is bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, and bag 5. We do get this small sticker sheet, which is thankfully undamaged, despite all the mess-ups with this box. And we do get this manual, which we will not be using, but it's good to see that it does exist for people who do want to use the instructions. I will look at the first and last pages just to see if there's any interesting information there. So it's telling you to use the Builder app, and there's... Okay, so there is some useful information about the Invisible Hand itself. So it's available in English, French, and Spanish, as you prefer. This information is also available on lego.com. So yeah, you do get some nice information about the set, or about the source material, which is good to see in an 18 plus set. Although I wish they would do this with all the sets that are representing something licensed. Of course, it's the 25th anniversary of Star Wars, and then it tells you go straight to opening bag 1, which we already did, and it tells you about the brick separator. But if you notice, what's missing here is the building phases. Unfortunately, it seems that LEGO is no longer including the building phases on any of their instructions, whether for kids or for adults. I think that's a shame in my personal opinion. This is the last page of the instructions, 116 step, or 174 steps, 115 pages of instructions. So overall I think that's reasonable, although I think they could have condensed even more. And here is the parts list. It's kind of hard to read the part numbers on this dark gray, so I would have preferred, even though I don't use the instructions, but I would have preferred if these instructions were done in white instead of gray. At least they're not black like the very first LEGO 18 plus sets from a few years ago. There's a smiling minifigure in the instructions, but unfortunately there's no minifigure included in this set. So here's the partially opened bag 1, and there is this orange brick separator. I will point out this nice bluish gray band that LEGO Star Wars is including for all the 2024 sets, except for that one battle pack that came out in January. Here's some pieces that already came out of bag 1 as I was ripping it apart from the box. Apparently this part here was glued to the other side of the box for whatever reason, so pulling it out ripped it apart. So let's just pour all the other pieces out. Now, so when that piece fell on the floor, I hit pause and I forgot to hit record again, so I actually ended up building a little bit of bag 1 without recording it, and here is the end result. You can still see how it came together because there's no hidden pieces. I'll just rotate it around so you can get the idea, and I'll move on with the rest of the build. So sorry about that. Now before moving on, I do want to indicate some nice part usage here, and specifically that's for the engines. So we have this 1x1 plate. The engine goes in like this, and it appears very loose. And we actually have this wheel piece that goes in as well right after in this axle, and it's still all very loose until it is held finally by this stopper piece, and voila, it just fits Now it's no longer loose, and it's a really nice combination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. That's pretty smart. I appreciate that. And for the engine in the middle, it's the same thing by using just a regular gray wheel, specifically this one. Yeah, it's pretty smart part usage, so you always learn something new in building these Lego sets. It's always appreciated. Notice, by the way, that the LEGO designer has given us these transparent yellow pieces, more of them than what we need, even though they're hidden, and this is so that we can reuse them in our own creations, because the transparent plate is more valuable than just a standard one. So props to the LEGO designer once again. Good stuff. Now, it's really important that we get these pieces exactly right, because these axles are going to go exactly through here. This completes the main ship. One more bag to go, bag 5, and that one is the stand. Alright, we are done with the build. We're done with bag 5. Let's have a look. So this is quite an impressive display model. Here it is compared to the size of my hand, and here it is compared to the size of a minifigure. It was not included with this set, by the way. But just to get a size, just to get a sense of scale for how large this thing is. So it's not really minifigure scale, and it's not minifigure compatible either, unless you insist on doing something ridiculous like making them sit here. That's always appreciated nonetheless. But it's still a very nice display piece nonetheless. Let's do a 360-degree view. I'll try to get it to focus there on the nose. It's symmetrical, so if you see in the left, then you've also seen the right. This is a little bit askew. The rear looks pretty interesting with all those motors and stuff. And this piece here is loose. It can be attached here if you want it to, just like what the box shows. Then you get this piece extra, or if it's no longer the 25 years, or you just don't want to celebrate this, or you want to use this in some other creation, you could set that aside as well. So it's nice that they included this piece, and it's nice that they made it optional, so it's very easy to add or remove. So yeah, let's look at some of the details up close. You see some nice part usage here in the way they did the lighting. So that's some genius, the way they did the lights here coming from both down, like down going up, which is these ones here, but also up going down. So like some of them are done upside down. It's very subtle. You only see it from certain angles, but when you do see it, or if you've been through the build experience, you will appreciate that. So that's some nice detail right there. I'm trying to make it focus. Yeah, you have some stickers here, not too many stickers on this set, thankfully, just these 4. These 2, and then 2 exactly the same, mirrored on the opposite side. And again, here is the sticker sheet. It's very small and reasonable. Of course, it would have been better if these were prints, but honestly, these are not too bad. And they do include a brick separator, so it's easy enough to apply the stickers. I usually hate stickers, but these were not too bad, to be honest, so I can't complain about them. We got some nice alternation of colors here. I like the use of the various grays, dark, light, dark gray, etc., mixed with the blues and the yellows. It just really comes together really nicely, and there's also all these transparent yellow pieces here that really bring the ship to life. And here we have these panel pieces in light transparent blue, so the light actually shines across from one side of the spaceship to the other. So that's really cool to see. Like, let me see if I can show you. Like with this brick separator, you could see it. You could see it like on the other side. That's pretty cool. And sadly, there's no way to like easily open this up to see what's inside. There's not much, but there's like a few Easter eggs there, like red and yellow plates, 1x1 plates. If you know anything about Star Wars, you'll know what those are references to. A little bit of upside down construction here for the rear. That's pretty well done. This is on a ratchet joint, but there's no flexibility. It cannot really move anyway, unless you remove some of these pieces, but that's fine. You have some roller skates, so some nice part usage here and here. And I already explained this during the build, but I'll explain again for people who fast forwarded to the end. So these motors, I'll see if I can remove one right now. Oh, I removed the axle. So there's this axle, and this light piece, and this wheel piece. They're all like loosely held together, and then they just get plugged in, and it just magically works. I would not have expected these wheels to be used in this kind of way. So that's, again, very nice part usage, very different, very unexpected, and it makes you think. And these are my favorite types of LEGO builds, when you actually think about the build. And when you build it, you learn something, and you can apply that to your own creations. The ship is on a removable stand. The stand includes this exclusive tile or plate. Well, it's mostly a tile, but there are some studs at the bottom. So this is an exclusive piece. You can only get it by getting this set. The set is easily removable from its stand, so you could take it away from the stand and swoosh it and play with it if you want. It's not really a play set. You can't really open up the interior or do much with it, but I suppose you could swoosh it around. Nobody's going to stop you. And then put it back on the stand when you're done. You just want to display it. And yeah, you also have this piece here. And let's have one final look from the top and from the bottom, with the stand and without the stand as well. So not really the best look from the bottom. I mean, it's not too bad. This is all covered up nicely. These are some anti-studs that are visible, but most of the time this will be on the stand, so we won't really be looking at it from this angle anyway. We have like some additional detail here at the bottom, so that's nice to see. I also want to talk about the building experience, especially without instructions. I found it to be an enjoyable build, a fun build. The set is basically divided up into 5 bags, with bags 1 and 2 building the back part of the ship. By the way, this does come apart. So bag 1 is basically this bottom part, more or less, including the... So these were done in using pretty interesting techniques, kind of tedious and repetitive to put them all together. but the end result is worth it. I don't know if it's because they didn't have any other pieces that could do this role, or maybe there's a stylistic reason why these like 1x1 white pieces were chosen to attach here, but either way it works, even though I was not sure when I was putting it together, but in the end it works. So bag 1 is like this bottom part, bag 2 is this top part, more or less. I think this is also part of bag 2, if I'm not wrong. Then you have bag 3 is this bottom part, mostly, and bag 4 is this top part. So really small bags, there's not a lot of pieces in each one. Still, it's a pretty dense build, so you do feel like you're making progress, even though like it's not large in size. You have lots of these 1x1 pieces and so on. So it's very concentrated, very compact. And of course, bag 5 is this stand. This is the easiest part of the build to do, and you build it last. Or you can skip the rules if you want. Start with bag 5 and build this first. Nobody's going to stop you. So yeah, and then the way they set this up with like this protrusion here makes it very easy to connect the two halves together. So that's pretty cool. And I think if you, I do recommend trying to build this set without instructions, relying only on the box and perhaps the 3D view. I think you'll learn a lot by doing that, and it's a fairly reasonable set to try out. It's not insanely difficult like the Planet Earth Technic set that I reviewed a bit earlier. Check that video out if you haven't already. So it's okay. It's a decent build to do without the instructions. It's a lot of fun. I found it to be fun, at least. So yeah, I think if you value build experience, then this is one of the good sets to get, and you will enjoy yourself putting this together. All right, I think that sums it up for this set. It is a nice set. The value, so if we're talking about price and value for this set, I think it's reasonable. It's $50 US, 65 Canadian for 557 pieces. So not completely crazy. I wish it would have come with at least one exclusive figure. I think that would have really helped with the value, at least one or maybe two, like an astromech or something like that. So that would have helped, but it's not bad. Still, if you can get it on a discount, that would be even better. But as it is, it's not outrageous. So it's much more affordable than an Ultimate Collector Series set. So some of those, they go up to 800 US or 1050 Canadian. So those are the largest ever Star Wars sets and the largest LEGO sets, period. So if you do want a little bit of LEGO Star Wars, you want a display model that is of a ship and not a diorama, then I do think this is a good option for you. It is the cheapest one, the Invisible Hand, and it might be subjective, but because of the extra color, you could argue that this is the best looking, but of course that depends on you and what you prefer to see in the Star Wars universe. The Millennium Falcon is also quite good, I might say. The Tantive 4 as well, although that one I think is a bit overpriced. So yeah, that sums up my thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars Invisible Hand. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more awesome videos coming your way very soon, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!